What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the most relevant forwards in Supercoach 2021. This is heading into round 9, so obviously we don't have the Dunkley option. Tex Walker is pretty much screwed. So let's have a look at our options. So before we get into that, I'm going to have a look at my forward line right now, and we've got Zeeble, Zorko, Impey, Warner, McCreary, and Poulter. So I'm pretty happy with fielding Poulter. Warner, I'm probably going to give one more week, and then ideally flip him into a primo. This is the problem though. The primos on the forward line are very, very scarce. So today the aim is sort of to discuss a strategy in avoiding the landmines that are the premium forwards and make sure we pick the right ones without getting burnt, because I think there's a lot of burn men in here. Anyway, first things first, let's talk about Jack Zeeble. Now, if you don't have him, I still think he's worth trading in. I know he started at 250k or whatever, but I honestly still think he's worth trading in. He's just pumping out 120s every week. He's averaging 122 with a 5-round average of 127.4. I think he's a lock. Even though he is 600k, I think he's one of those players you're going to have to pay up for. If you didn't start with him at the start, you still have to pay up for him because he will be the number one forward, in my opinion. Jarman Impey is another one. I would still pay 450 for him. He's got the perfect role. Averaging 98, that's solid for a forward this year. That's all you need. He's got the perfect role for Supercoach. Yeah, he's not the greatest at accumulating the ball, but he's got pretty good ball use, I feel. So Impey is just one of those players that, even though he doesn't play any forward time at all, he's one of those players that you know what his role is. Because this is the problem with a lot of these forwards. You don't know their role for sure. And even if you do know their role, you know their role is not great. So Tex Walker, he has a 3-round average of 58 and a 5-round average of 73. He can well and truly go. He was great for the time being, but now it's time to get rid of him. I don't see his form turning around. He might have a couple more 120s in him, but it's going to be a roller coaster from here on out. I don't see him averaging over 100 from this point to round 22. I think the last round's round 22. But yeah, so if you do have Tex, trade him out now. If you don't, well, you've missed a few big scores, but then again, you've saved some trades on him. Josh Dunkley, hopefully he can be back. I don't know what time he's going to be back. Probably not till finals, or at the bare minimum Supercoach finals. Hopefully Supercoach finals, because I'd still like to bring him in, averaging 129. Gee, he's unbelievable, Josh Dunkley. Toby Green, a lot of people talk about him. I'm personally not a fan whatsoever. He's got that shitty forward flank, deep forward role. He comes up the ground, but he's not getting CBAs. He's not going to be a consistent scorer for us. And for that price, I just don't like it, plain and simple. Zorko, I don't like this pick at all, but I think he was the best option last week. And that's saying something, because I've never had Zorko in my life, and I never want to have Zorko, but he should average in between 95 and 105 quite comfortably from here on out, especially with no Lucky Neil. He should get all the CBAs he wants. I know they've got Zach Bailey roaming through there, and Reece Matheson came in. I don't know why he's getting CBAs, he's useless. But yeah, Shai Bolton, obviously he's injured, had that nightclub incident. Even still with him, I still don't rate him. Obviously he's a gun, but I don't like his Supercoach potential, because he kicked 6 goals in the last 2 games or something. I think he had 2 bags of 3. So to only score, the 120 and 108, you'd think he would score more. It's a worry when he doesn't kick goals, because he's not going to kick goals every week. And he might kick 1 a week, but yeah, Shai Bolton, I don't rate him, unfortunately, for Supercoach. He's a good player, but I don't rate him for Supercoach. Bailey Dale, this is someone I'm really considering. So 444k, it's actually really good value. I think he averages 90 comfortably from here on out. Probably an F5 or an F6. And sort of another one, the role. He's playing backline. I like where his position is with the team. He's taking more kick-ins than Caleb Daniel, I think, which is ridiculous, but yeah, so they clearly trust him back there at the Bulldogs. Bailey Williams coming back might affect him, but at this point I think Bailey Dale's a decent selection. I would definitely consider bringing him in. He's probably the first one, besides Zorko, that I would actually consider bringing in. Oh, obviously in Zeeble. Harry Mackay, nah, don't pick him. Nah. He kicked a few goals on the weekend. I don't know how many, but he only scored 77. So yeah, he literally needs goals to score. Yeah, just don't rate that pick at all, unfortunately, even though I'm a Carlton supporter. Hawkins is one that might be worth it. It'd be similar to Tex, you'd have to back him to go on a big run. But Can you, yeah, will he be top six? He actually could. Like, as much as I'd like to say he won't be top six, he's been top six before. Um, so yeah, I would consider Hawkins. You have to have a look at Geelong's run though, because I actually haven't. Who do they play? So they play St Kilda. He could kick a bag against them, and Gold Coast, and Collingwood. That's interesting. Then Port, Doggies, Brisbane. So he's got 3 easy games and 3 relatively easy games, and then 3 pretty tough games. Then plays Essendon, Carlton easy, Freo easy, Richmond hard, North easy. Yeah, possibly. This is probably the week to bring him in if you want to. 474k. I'm not a fan of the price, but I mean he's only in 3% of teams. Could be a good pod, and obviously he's got a huge ceiling with 150. Tom McDonald, no thank you, just no. Jack Darling was considering him last week. Glad I didn't jump on him. I mean he could probably average 90 from here on out, but I don't rate him. Like obviously I rate him, he's a good player, but Supercoach wise, key forwards are roller coasters. Nick Hind, he's one that I'm really considering. I think he's improving, like week to week, because I think he's still relatively young, or he's relatively new to the role he's playing at Essendon. Yeah, he's got a break even of 73, so he could. Yeah, he'll probably sit at about 430 to 450 for most of the season, for the most of the few weeks coming. Yeah, I think Nick Hind's another one that I would look at. So Bailey Dale, Nick Hind, Dane Zorko, and Jack Zeeble, I think are all really worthy of a spot in your forward line. I think they're definitely capable of averaging 90 consistently. You don't want to have these rollercoaster forwards like the Darlings, the Hawkins, the Mackays, the Toby Greens. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that pick, Nick Hind. I think I'll bring him in next week for Warner, and I'll drop Flynn to a loophole. That's my plan, or a sweep if he doesn't play this week. Atkins, he's been good for people who started with him. 85.5 average, you take that. I think he's only like 200k. Aaron Norton, no. Pickett, gun, but no. Bruce, don't even think about him. Lincoln McCarthy. So it gets pretty average here, and then obviously we're going to have to talk about Dusty, because he is relevant, highly relevant. And I need to see something from him. I talked about him briefly in my round 8 review, but I need to see something from him before I trade him in. So he's got the break even of 159. He's coming down 40k this week. He should be he could be under 400k by next week. Not by the end of next week, but the week after, so round 10, going into round 10. Sorry, after round 10. So just around the buys will be the ideal time to pick Dusty up, unless he goes off his nut this week against the Giants. I don't see him doing that personally, but obviously we have to consider him because, it's Dusty. He's more than capable, we know that. People saying he's carrying an injury, he could be. He went completely missing that second half. Like, I know last year and the year before, Dusty was really frustrating because he goes missing and he can just, really burn you at times. And I've been one of the most frustrated people with him. I've started with him every year just about until this year. So he can burn you, but he did not look good in that second half. Like, I didn't see him. Like, it's like he went completely missing. Hopefully he comes good. He's in 60% of teams, so it's actually probably good for me not having him. But, I mean, a lot of teams in the top percentage won't have him because he's been pretty useless. 3 round average of 65, 5 round of 74. Yeah, it's tough. Keep an eye on Dusty. That's all I have to say. Zach Bailey, I don't think he's getting quite as much mid-time as we'd like. 84 with a 3 round average of 92. It's pretty good. When Lachie Neale comes back, whenever that is, I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to keep that mid-time. Robbie Gray, no. Oscar Allen, definitely no. Cole Langford. So, yeah, it drops off pretty quickly here. We're going to keep going to Steel side bottom, though. So, side bottom's 495 with an average of 86, 3 round average of 98, and a 5 round average of 93. I think he's okay. I think he's a decent pick. Would I pick him for 495? No, I wouldn't. What's his break even? Break even of 117. I'd wait till he gets about the 450 mark because I don't see him being. He might be top 6 from here on out, but it's like he's just so iffy side bottom. Like, you don't know if you can trust him. Only in 6% of teams. So pretty solid. But yeah, I wouldn't pick him for 495 or anything over 470. Going down, no one really relevant here. No. We'll keep going. So Isaac Rankin, no. He's got a terrible role, Isaac Rankin. Aaron Hall. So this is the talking point of last week. Scored 113, and it seems like he's taking kick-ins. A few kick-ins off Zeeble. I don't know the actual stat, but it felt like he was taking a few kick-ins off Zeeble. I don't think I can trust him though, unfortunately. He's had a few big games now in a row. So he had the 113, 106. Yeah, but the 37, I think he might have got injured that game, and he definitely got injured in that 6. So you take those scores out, he actually is averaging, what, like 105? That's solid. Maybe a little more. Maybe like 108. That's really solid. I'm going to give him one more week, I think. Oh, his break-even's 30. Jeez. This might be the week to jump on him. Wow. Okay, 419. Oh, I just don't know if you can trust him. Like, can we trust Aaron Hall? We've never been able to trust this prick. That's tough. Let me know what you guys think about Aaron Hall. That's a really, really big talking point. And then I think everything else is sort of drops off. De Goey, I don't trust him. 296, I mean, he's cheap, but no. Stringer. Did he get injured? I didn't see that game. Wow, okay. So that's all the forwards discussed. Let me know what you guys think about everyone, but especially Aaron Hall. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about him. Break even of 30. This is the week to get him if we want him. It's either him or Taranto. Obviously, I'd rather Taranto, but for structure, it might help having Hall. Obviously, value as well. Alright, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. It's been a bit of a longer video, but I hope it's helped you guys. They're the targets that I think are the best ones. And I think, obviously, Jack Zeeble's the number one. If you don't have him, probably what to do. Otherwise, I'll be looking at Dane Zorko. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.